Hello everyone. In this video, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna use views, tags as the layout and the modifiers. So first of all, why we need to use the Swift UI? As we know, these days the demand of Swift UI is very huge because Apple made Swift UI common language for all of its platforms. So either it's a mobile application, VR or TV OS, watch OS. You're gonna use the one simple code using the Swift UI, and from that you can develop for the multiple platforms. So here we're gonna use the basics of the Swift UI, that is understanding views, stacks, and the modifiers. So the Swift UI simplifies UI development with declarative syntax. Understanding how to use views, layouts as a stacks, and customize appearances with modifiers is very important to build UI. Now, what are the UI? Anything we watch on the screen or the screen displays is our view. It can be a text, it can be an image, button, anything. Every single thing is our view. So the common characteristics of the views are like in SwiftUI, we use structs. We are not using classes, we are not using view holders, we are using structs. They are very light and optimized. Views are designed to be composable, like we are going to use smaller views to build bigger ones. So let's first talk about the text, which is our inbuilt view. And this content view is our custom view, where in which we can make anything. To display the things on the screen, we're going to use the body. If someone have done HTML, they will understand the concept of body here. So let's start with this text. Just to show you one more thing, this Swift UI is like displays live changes on our screen. So if I'll change hello world to this is my view, you can see the live changes on the screen. Let's use modifiers to change the text appearance. Let's, for example, we're gonna use the font and dot. If you'll press, sorry, Control and space, it gonna show you the options like large title, title, headline, title 2. Even you can use the custom one like using this system, and then you will give the size 14, 16. If you want to give weight as well, and the design. I will show you this option later, but for now we're gonna use large title, and you can see its font size is increased. Let's give it a color. Foreground style. We're gonna use foreground style to give it a color. Color dot, let's say red. After that, we're gonna give it a background. Let's give it a background color yellow. You can see there is no padding at all to this view. The background is stick to our text. For that, I'm gonna tell you there is a thing about the padding in Swift UI. If we'll give padding here, you will see there are no changes inside the background, right? But this padding means it is appeared outside this yellow box. To give it inside, we have to put it at the first thing or after the font. For example, padding, I have given 10. Now you can see the change it occurred. Now we have the perfect padding. Right now we don't need this one. I will show you in a while what this one actually is working to our view. So now, if you want to give corner radius to your view, it is very simple in SwiftUI. Like before of the storyboard, we have to make a custom file and put it in the extension, and then we have to use it. But it's very easy in here. We're gonna use in, then rectangle, rounded rectangle, corner size. We're gonna use CG size, width, and height. I'm gonna give 10 for now. You can give whatever you want. You can see it reflects immediately and our corners are now rounded. Let's give it a shadow with radius 10. If you want to give color, I'm gonna give it color blue for now, just to show you the shadow we have. If you see it, there are two different shadows. One is to our text and one is to our background. This is how it gonna work. If you want your shadow to be appear only at your background, then we have to put our text in another view, and then we'll give shadow to that view, which I'll show you guys in a while. Okay, now next. So this is our text, and we have used enough modifiers. I'll show you here font, how we're gonna use this term. This one, system size, I'm gonna give it 12. You see how it changes, you can customize it whatever you want. Let's say 22 or 28. Yeah, this is how you're gonna use custom font. Okay, let's make a app to counter app so that I can show you the functionality of button text and the text fields as well. Here we're gonna add counter app, right? And then again, I'm gonna take another text, gonna show us 0 as a start. Then I'm gonna give it padding of 10. Font again 20. Let's give it a font of 40, 68. Okay. Now we're gonna work on button. Let's say button. It will say increment count. Okay. Oh, this is our button, and I have given background color to button as a red and foreground as a white. If you want to use all the modifiers, we can use these modifiers to this one. But now you have idea how we use the modifiers. It will be same for our all of the views, like shadow, background, foreground, font. If you want to give weight, like font weight dot bold. This is how you're gonna, sorry, bold. This is how you're gonna use it. Let's give it ultra light, right? And I'm gonna give font color white. For now, I'm gonna remove this shadow. Okay. Oh, now I'm gonna show you the functionality of how we're gonna make this button work. For now, I'm gonna show you that it's working. Print button tapped. So whenever we're gonna click it, it's gonna appear here. Button tapped. So that means our button is working. Okay. Now in SwiftUI, we have to use the state variable to reflect the things on our UI. So first I'll give you the basic idea what actually the state is and why we should use it. So state is used to manage a view's local state. It represents a source of truth for the data and can change over time and drives the dynamic updates of the user interface. When the state changes, SwiftUI automatically re-renders the affected views, ensuring that the UI stays in sync with the current data. Why we should use the state? We use state to manage local state. For example, if I have pressed increment count, it will automatically makes it 1 here. We don't need to do anything else to update our UI. SwiftUI handles the state of the objects itself. We do not need to do re-renders or views. Okay, so then it will trigger UI updates. It, as I mentioned, SwiftUI automatically updates the associated views. So we don't need to manage the UI updates manually. Another use is it used for the data binding. Like we can bind our variables to our UI elements like text field, toggles, sliders, and it makes it easy to interact with our components. So how we define the state? We define our state using @state, and then we can mention which type of variable we want. I will show you guys in a while. So when we can use the state, we can use @state only for the local view. If you want your variable to be used in a different views, you can use @state object or @environment object. If you want to use in different, I will say screens, yeah. Okay, so automatic redraw. So when you modify a state variable, SwiftUI effectively updates the affected part of the view hierarchy. Okay, now I'll show you how it's gonna work. So we have created a state variable over here of int and the default value is 0. I'm gonna put that thing here, like it's gonna say it count. So I'm gonna put it inside this because as you guys knows, text only takes string in it. To make it a string, I'm gonna use this way. And then here I'm gonna do whenever the button pressed count dot wrapped value plus equals to 1. That's it. This is how we're gonna use the state. We define the state variable and initialize its value to 0. If you'll do 10, it will appear here that the initial value is 10, but for now we're gonna keep it 0. And then we use that variable to display in a text, and then we give it the values on each and every button click. So let's test our functionality. As you can see, it's incrementing and it's automatically updating the UI, and we don't have to handle the state. This is how we use the state variable. Let's use another thing here. Okay, I'm gonna use text field here saying give initial value. Oh, give incremental value you want to add each time to the count. And it gonna say text. Let's first make our another state variable. State var incremental value int is equal to 0 for now, and we should keep it in a camel case. Here the thing we're gonna use incremental value. Okay. Again, we have to use string here, so I'm gonna use it like this. Let's make it a string then. Okay. So now we have our text field here. Just to make it a little better, I'm gonna give padding of 10, giving it background color dot gray. One more thing, if you feel like your color is way too dark and you need the light gray, which we don't have any option here, or we have, yeah, no, we don't. So we're gonna use gray dot opacity. We can use opacity with our colors right away. Just to make it look better, I'm gonna do one more thing. Value. Okay, so this is our thing which we have done. Now I'm gonna use incremental value dot. Yeah, it is a string, but we have to convert it into integer, which we're gonna do in a while. Mm, Meanwhile, let's first check if our text field is working or not. As you can see, we can write anything, and the color which we have given is white. So that means our text field is working. Let's rearrange our button so that it looks a little bit better to use and to the viewers. So, and we're gonna say default is incremental value dot wrapped value. I'm gonna give it default value 0, and okay, let's keep it like this. So we're gonna use that increment value over here. And we're gonna give it a default value of 0. Let's test. This is how we're gonna convert our string to int. Let's test our functionality. Right now I'm entering value 3, increment 3, 6, 9, 12, and if I'm gonna add 17, This is how the state works. Let's create another button which will reset our initial value. Button reset to default. And I'm gonna use this and giving it value 0. State 0. Yeah, now it's correct. So let's say 3, increment, reset to 0, increment 1. Let's keep it default as 1. Enter value for default. So this is how it's gonna work. Next, we're gonna work on our layouts, for which we're gonna use the stacks. So first of all, let's put these two buttons in a stack and see what's happened. To put them in a stack, SwiftUI made it very easy. Select the text or the portion of your code which you want it in a stack and then press Ctrl and click. Here you will see 3 options: embed in horizontal stack, vertical, and the ZStack. So now I'm gonna show you the VStack. As you can see, it is in our VStack. And I'm gonna give it a frame with max width dot infinite. This is how we're gonna give the layout to our button. We don't need to give this button the frame or the width because we're gonna keep it like this. And this is how we use the stack. For those who are thinking how we're gonna use horizontal, just do this. And you can see they are now aligned to each other. I have to remove or add this one to make them equally adjusted, like 50 and 50. So they're still working fine. We're gonna 5, okay, 8, and again 1. Yeah, one more thing. We have, when we are doing reset, we have to reset the count as well. 0. Okay, so now our counter app is ready. Increment count 1, 2, 3, reset to 0. I'm gonna give it 4, 4, 4, 4, reset to 1, 11. Let's say 11. This is how it will work. Now I'm gonna show you how we work with the tags or the views. Let me first remove everything we have used so far. Okay, so now we have this counter app text with background color yellow. Let's put it in a stack. Will say embedding VStack. Okay, so I'm gonna give background color to my VStack dot black. As you can see, there is no gap between my layout and my text. To make that happen, or to make it little clear, here I'm gonna use padding with 10. Now you can see there is some padding outside my text, not the inside. For the inside, we have to use it at the top layer, and for the outside at the last one. Here, now I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna give it a frame. Frame max width and height is infinite. Now the whole screen is black here, as you can see. Again, I'm gonna give this one a new layout. Here, I'm gonna give it a background color. Let's say red, right? Now you will understand about this padding thing if I'll do 100. This is how it's gonna work. Let's keep it 10 for a while. I'll give it a blue just. Yeah. Now, this is our main layout with the infinite width and height. Here I'm gonna give alignment. Alignment, it will be dot top leading, for instance. As you can see, my this tag is now at the top left corner. If you wanna play around with the alignment, you can, let's give it a bottom trailing. It is now right here. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna give to this tag which have blue color, I'm gonna give it a frame with maximum width. Infinity. Now you can see but bring, and its width is now infinite. So our counter button is in center. By default, it is center. If you'll give again alignment here, dot leading, it will move to leading side. Now, if you wanna give it trailing, it will be right here. And let's do another dot bottom trailing. It will not show you anything because there is not enough height. So I'm gonna give it maximum height of 200, let's say, if it changes. Again, center. Now it is on center dot leading. Now it's at the leading side. dot. This is how you're gonna play with these things. Top leading, it going to the top. Let's give it to the center. Now, if you change this thing to say center, it will appear at the center. So I hope now you understand how we gonna use layouts and the stacks, and how we're gonna use multiple layouts using these stacks. One more thing, if you wanna go with sorry, ZStack, I'm gonna show you what ZStack does. Here I'm gonna give you another text naming, let's say, hello. As you can see, it appeared on top of each other. This is what the ZStack is. Now we can use here offset, let's say, for -10, comma, -10. And if you do 100, it will come out of that thing. We can move our texts like this, and if you'll give background color node white, you can see our text is moved outside of its actual position. This white box is what its actual position is. Sometimes we have to move our views where we don't need them. So in that case, we can use this feature as well. So this is what actually the Z stack is. If I will do it horizontal stack, it gonna appear like this. So that's all for this tutorial. Hope you guys found it knowledgeable, and if you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. Plus, I'm gonna give you the link to my GitHub where you can find this complete code from using the text views, buttons, images. I can show you a quick demo of image, how you can use the image. We're gonna use system name. Let's say star dot fill. And if you want to change, we're gonna use frame width, let's say 100 and 100. You will be seeing that the space has increased, but star is of still same size. This is because we have to, for the system images, we have to use modifier resizable. Just like this. Now you can see the images of 100 by 100. Let's keep it 50 by 50. So this is how we're gonna use our views, tags, and the modifiers. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, make sure you subscribe, like, and share with your friends. And I'll see you in the next tutorial.